Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
One more thing, apart from that, we have set the Java home. We have given the path over here. And apart from that, there's one more path we have given, that is Apache Maven. Okay. Now, because since
Mhm.
Maven also we have taken inside the program files, so we have set the Maven path also. Okay. Now, if you go and check, mvn hyphen hyphen version. See, without setting the Java path, it will not show Maven. Okay. Now, since it is pointing to that JDK 17, you can see that, right?
Mhm.
Somehow it is not giving the Java hyphen, not recognizing that. I just restarted 2 times, but it is not, but still it is working. It is pointing to Java JDK 17.
Mhm. So after we install it, we have to set the path.
Pardon?
So after we install the file, we have to set the path
After,
environment.
after downloading it, extracting it, you have to set the path, environment variable path. Whether in
Where do you go for where do you go for the environment to set it?
you search for environment variables, env. If you type
ENV.
env, you will get edit the system environment variables.
Okay.
There in the advanced setting, go to environment variables and you can set the path over here, home path, and then there is one in the system variables, there is one variable known path. Edit that,
Mhm.
add a new and add that path. Like here we have added Java home and Maven.
Okay.
Okay. So add both the
Perfect.
paths. Now
Then we start the
we have set our Java and we have set our Maven. Now what we'll be doing? We need project now. Okay, we'll be needing a project now. So for the project, we need some project. So let's download some project. Okay. Now for downloading the project, so since I am having my project in my GitHub, okay. So what I'll be doing, I'll be opening my GitHub over here. So this is my GitHub account. I'll go to my repository. Inside my repository, I'm having some a web application. So this is my web application. What I'll do, I'll copy this link. Okay, I'll copy this link. I'll go back to E drive where we have Azure DevOps. Here there is one folder called Java projects. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll open since,
Right click and
since I think everyone had already installed Git in
Mhm.
their system, right?
Yeah.
edit. Yeah.
So open Git bash now. So this will open a Git bash. Okay, in your Windows laptop only or Mac, wherever. So you can see that as of now we are in the root directory. This tilde symbol, this is called tilde symbol, which represents the root directory of our Windows system. If you do ls over here, it will show that this is the root directory. Now we have to go to our project. Okay, so our project is in the E drive. So let's go to that.
Mhm.
So as of now, I'm in the C drive. I'll go back to the root. Now here in the root, from here I can go back to the E. So I'll type /e, no, sorry, cd/e. Yes, now I'm in the E drive. So in the E, we have to go to Azure DevOps and then our project. So cd/e/Azure DevOps/Java projects. I'm in the Java projects now. As of now, there is no directory in the Java project. So let's download the project over here inside the Java project. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll go back to my repository, copy that link. We'll use a git command called git clone. And after cloning, I'll give that. So it will clone that particular repository into my local.
Mhm.
So this is a GitHub's CI tool provided by GitHub. Okay, Git CLI. So whenever you will be installing Git, you will already get this. Okay. Now we have our project over here. If you do an ls, it will show all the files. It is showing the Triders application. That is one application. If you do a cd over here inside this, see, all these files are there. Now let's go and see our project. Inside this project, you can see that already there is a .git. Here we are not initiating any Git repository as of now. Since we downloaded this from the GitHub, okay, so already there is a Git repository initialized. We have not write our source code over here. Now, in case if you want to push the code, what you have to do, you will be having a source code. Now in the Java, there are different files, like this is the source code and this is a target folder. Source code, source file will be having all the source code, everything related to source code. Since this is a web application, web type of application, so inside the source, you will be having a main. Inside the main, you will be having web app. Okay. Inside the web app, you will be having images, all those things, JSPs and all. And inside the Java, you will be having your source code and all. Okay. So this is your source file, you can say. And this is the target file. So what you will be having in the target file. So as of now, you can see that there is already a var file. Why? Because it is taking it from the last build. Okay. But when we will be building this application, I'll delete this file and we'll build it again from the scratch. Okay. So here this is a var file. So whatever you will be generating an artifact will be there in the target folder. These all files ignore as of now. Ignore Docker, ignore Jenkins. Okay. As of now, ignore pom.xml. Now pom.xml is configuration file for Maven. Okay. Configuration file for Maven. So as of now, ignore this Jenkins file also, Docker file also. Keep your focus on source and target. That's it. Okay. That is what we are having as of now as a Java code. Now let's go to that particular application. Let's close this now as of now. Okay. Close this. Open our terminal again. Now we'll be checking if we can build our code or not. Okay. If Maven and Java paths are working correctly. What I'll do, I'll delete this var file. I'll delete this var file. Okay. Now I'll be going to our cd Azure DevOps. Now I'm inside my application. If I do a, sorry, dir, all the files are intact. Now inside my application, I'll be building my application. So let's learn very little about Maven now. Let's see what is Maven. Okay. Because I can directly give you Maven commands, but just to know little about Maven, I'll tell you something about Maven. So Maven, I have already told you, it is a build tool for Java. For Java. Okay. And this is used to deploy the Java packages. Maven is used to deploy Java packages.
Build or deploy.
Not build. Build and deploy. See, actually there is a cycle. I'm telling that's why I told you that let's have something on Maven. 5 minutes. Okay. So Maven is used to build and deploy Java packages. Okay. You can add build also. And it is not a executable software. Okay. Now, when we talk about Maven, okay, so there are some directories inside Maven, like binary, then configuration file, then library files, all those things. So if you go inside here, inside Maven, in the C drive,
Abhishek, you meant to say it is not a exe, it is a dump, right?
a zip, it is a kind of a zip file, okay? Not an executable means you double click it, you install all those things.
Dot exe, it will,
Not a kind of installer file. Okay.
installer file, but it has the dump, all the related files, folders and files.
So see,
Mhm.
there are some directories over here inside the Maven. One is your binary. So this Maven CMD, this MVN is, you can say it is a command. Like Linux, you have seen that we have different commands in Linux. So all those commands are stored in where? In the binary files of the Linux environment, right? So
Right.
similarly with this Maven, whatever we are building, we will be building with MVN command. So we have that MVN inside our binaries inside the Maven. So this is that MVN. Okay. Now if you go back, there is a configuration file. So inside the configuration, you can see that there is a settings.xml. Okay, this is a very important configuration file. So if someone asks that what is the configuration file of Maven, then inside the conf folder, you will be having settings.xml. Okay. And then inside the library lib, you have all the jar files. Since Maven is created using Java only, okay, so that's why you have all the jar files over here. So if you want to install Maven, you will be needing Java as well. Okay. Now all these things like are written in, you can say there are build files over here, okay, or build scripts. So if we talk about Maven here, so we have build files over here, build files, which are used to build the Java code. Okay. So if we talk about build file for Maven, it is pom.xml. Okay, pom.xml. You can also give any custom name to this pom.xml. Okay, so you can give custom name also. So sometimes in organization, people, they give custom name to this configuration file pom.xml. Okay. So that is the build file. Now, what are the sample contents inside this pom.xml? So let's go inside pom.xml now, where we have our code. Azure DevOps Java projects. This application, this is the pom.xml. Now you can see that Maven Apache organization. From here, it has taken that this is a repository. Okay, Maven repository. Now here there are dependencies. There are dependencies. There are properties. There are dependencies. Now, very first thing is the name of my application. Then what kind of project is there in the description? Maven web project for Java. Okay. Then organization name, whatever you want to give. Okay. Then there is a whatever version you are using for Java. Okay. So that is version. Then Spring version, JUnit, different versions for whatever kind of application like Spring Boot application and all. Okay. JUnit, fair, like Long4j, all those kind of things. Now, if you are hosting some Sonar, as of now, all you can see, as of now, we are not using Sonar, we are not using anything. Now, earlier when I was working on this, I had Sonar server and all. That's why I have mentioned this IP and all. Okay, for the Sonar server. We'll see that in coming class. Okay. So here we'll be mentioning. So if you are building your code using Java, everything you have to mention in this pom.xml. So pom.xml is a very important, you can say, configuration file for this. Okay, for building your Java code. So here you will mention the Sonar also. Here you will mention the Nexus repository also. Here you will mention everything in the properties. Now, after mentioning all the things in the properties, let's come to dependencies. Okay. Now, what are the dependencies? From the org.json. Okay. Then JSON, then this is a version of some. Okay. So all these dependencies are there. You can see JUnit, JavaX servlet, Java servlet files. Okay. So this will be having all the Java servlet files. Then Java servlet API, version of that API. Okay. Then org, mock.io.
These are all related,
All
tools
are
which
these
are
are
there.
dependencies for the Java code.
Like Spring framework, it is using Spring Core and version.
Yes, yes. All are dependencies.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now, if you will be a developer, you will be knowing all these things.
Right.
Okay. So then after that, here we are mentioning the repository. Now I have installed a Nexus also. That's why I have mentioned this thing. As of now, we don't have. But when we'll be installing the Nexus somewhere in the Linux server, we'll be mentioning this port
We'll change this.
wherever we'll be running Nexus server. Okay. Then in the distribution management, organization.apache. Some plugins they are using. Okay. So all these things what you are seeing inside the project, all these things are dependencies of for building that Java code in the pom.xml. So this is very important configuration file. Inside this, no one will ask anything, but yes, they can ask what is a configuration file for Java from Maven. So you can say pom.xml. So where you can configure everything, Sonar, Cube, Nexus repository,
Basically, once we install everything, here we need to update all those.
You have to update
Okay.
everything in the pom.xml. Then only you can perform CI/CD.
Right. Done.
Okay. So this is pom.xml. So like here, if you so in very short, there will be a project tag like this. And then inside that project, you will be having some model version. Sometimes in some interviews, they ask this also. So just to have an awareness, like there is a project, then there is a model version, you can tell in a rough idea. Okay, there is a project, there is a model version. You can mention the model version over here. What kind of model is this? Like 1.0.0, something like this. You can mention the model version. But remember this, whenever you are in the XML file, whenever you are opening it, properly close it. Okay. So closing works like this. Okay. Then again, you will be having model version. So inside project, you have a model version. Inside the model version, you have a group ID. Okay.
This is in which file, Abhishek?
Pom.xml only.
Okay.
Okay. So group ID. Now, whatever project you will be working in, see, pom.xml will be coming like that only. Okay. But whatever project you are working, you have to mention these things over there. You have to add these chunks of line over in the pom.xml.
Okay. Just now, which you opened, is this there?
I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay. Then there will be a group ID. So group ID, you can give any name of your like your website name, something, whatever it is, like com.cs, com dot whatever it is. Just an example, com.cs, coding superstar or anything. Okay. And then you can close your group ID here like this. So group ID. And then if you go down, you have to mention the artifact ID. Okay. So artifact ID like this. So what will be anything like here we have riders hyphen application. Okay. Right. You need to mention that artifact ID. You have to close it. And then what else? Version of that artifact. So you need to mention the version. These are just the basic things which I'm telling from the pom.xml. 4-5 lines, only 4-5 lines. That's it. So you can mention the version 1.0.0 version. And then at last, you have packaging. Okay. What type of package you have? So packaging. You have to mention that also. Like var. Okay. So var package it is. Close it. And once this is done, once you have mentioned the project, then there will be the, like you have the model version. Next will be dependencies. Okay. This is inside this. Indentation should be proper. Like this. And then from here, you can have dependencies now. Okay. So in the dependency, you can have JUnit 3.8.1, 1.8.0, 4. Whatever it is. So Now, if you go to the pom.xml and check it again, this is the dependency. Okay, this is the dependency. Then there is a test dependency, JUnit 3.8.1, and then test. So this is the test dependency. Then there is Java servlet dependency. Now, where are the project details? So this is the project. In under the project, you have these project details. Like I've given com.at, right, as application, var type of application, and this is the snapshot. Now, in the Nexus, we are having versions. Okay. So this is the snapshot version 0.0.0. This I've mentioned when I have installed the Nexus. So don't worry about this as of now. We'll see when we'll install the Nexus. Okay. So as of now, you just need to check these things, first three things, and then properties, and then dependencies. That's it. These are the three main things in the pom.xml file. Rest, if you are mentioning some repository like here, then you can mention the repositories like Nexus repository and all. Okay. So this is all about pom.xml file. Now there is one more thing, very small thing for you can say here in Maven. Here in Maven, we have this Maven life cycle. Okay, Maven life cycle. So this Maven life cycle is having some goals. So here there is life cycle, and then here you have goals. Now there is a first life cycle that is called a clean life cycle. So what is this clean life cycle? What is the goal of the clean life cycle? It will clear previous builds. Now, whenever you are building something, you need to clear the previous build. Okay. So for clearing the previous build, the life cycle is clean life cycle. Then there is a site life cycle. Site life cycle. So site life cycle, what it will do? It will generate the documents. Document for Java files. All these life cycles and goal will be executed when we will be building our code. Okay. So this you can say a little bit deep inside Maven if someone asks. Okay. And then the third one is default life cycle. Okay. Default life cycle. Now, what is this default life cycle? This is very important. Default life cycle. Okay. Inside the default life cycle, you have 7 goals. 7 goals. Now, when you start your building your code, this first life cycle comes into picture, second life cycle comes into picture, and third life cycle. Now, in that third life cycle, this is very important. So here you will validate your code. So in the default life cycle, very first thing is to validate your code. Second step, is compile. So there is only one command which you will run to build your code using Maven. But what that command will do, first it will validate your code, then it will compile your code, then it will test your code. It will test your code. What else? After testing, it will package. And then what else? It will install. And then it will deploy. So this order is very much important. This order is very much important.
7 goals.
7 goals in Maven lifecycle. So all these are called goals. Okay. These are called goals.
Abhishek, one is missing, Abhishek.
Which one?
Only 6 are there. Install, test, deploy, execute or run, something is missing like that.
Validate is there, compile is there. Then test is also there, package is also there, install is also there. No. Only 6 are there. Yes. Okay. 6 goals, not 7. Okay.
So when we, build the code using Maven, life cycle starts, right?
Right.
So clean life cycle, site and the default. All the three will be run one by one.
Yes. So this you will see when we will be building our code.
Okay, and you were saying about some folders, right? One was bin, which contains MVN, which is the command which is used for building.
So here we were using some command like Maven clean, then Maven clean package, then different there will be different commands. So whatever commands we will be using, there is a single command for Maven which will be used for calling all the goals, and that command is MVN. Okay. So only one command. For
One second, Abhishek. You showed three different folders, right? One was bin, the other was config.
You remember Linux? We have seen Linux.
Yes.
So I told you whatever command you run, it is inside the binary. The
Yeah,
file is related
that
to that
understood.
command inside the binary. So
Yes.
similarly, here we run the MVN command, and the command is inside the binary. Like
That is noted.
yes. Okay. Like here you run MVN hyphen version. Okay. So
Right.
from where it is calling that? It is calling from that inside the binary only.
The
Inside
others were config, and which was the other two folders which you are explained?
it is a conf folder. Okay.
CON.
CONF conf folder, which is having settings.xml.
Right. Settings, right? Settings, in settings we have that username and passwords kind of thing, right?
Right. Settings.xml, and then we have library. Okay.
Libraries, all the DLLs and required
Java libraries. Since the Maven is based on Java, so
uh,
all the Java libraries.
Java libraries. Can you mention that under pom.xml or somewhere so that it will be in this screenshot when we see, please?
So all right. Bin all binary files. Then there is conf, which is having settings.xml, which is an important configuration file. And then we have library lib, all library files. Now let's go and see that. Okay. So now we have our project over here. So as of now, you will not find in the target, you are not having any var file, or since this is a web application, there is no var file as of now. Now let's try to run that. Okay. So MVN, either you can run MVN package as of now, since there is no existing package. So you don't have to run that clean command. Okay, you don't have to run that clean command. You can directly run MVN package. Okay, so it will create a package. It will build your application. It will create a package out of that. Okay.
Spelling.
Which?
Package spelling, you missed it. Abhishek.
That's why. M2 repository, not the M2. C users. M2 is there. Repository.
That's a new package, right?
Pardon?
That's a new package.
Your voice is a little low.
That's a new package, right?
Ha, new pack. Actually, I deleted that M2 repository. Okay, maybe some of the file may be missing. That's why it was giving an error.
M2, did it generate M2 package?
Ha, no, M2 is not a package. It's a, like we have that .git folder. Okay,
Okay,
inside the
.git
application
folder.
you have .git, right? This is an empty Git repository. Similarly, in the C, wherever you install the Maven and all, so
Okay,
in your users here, I have a M2 repository, .m2. That is a
okay,
Maven repository. So
okay,
it is having all the dependencies of the Maven.
okay.
Okay, so that is a M2 repository. I just ran this successfully last night only. So, oh, why it is giving M2 error? Plugin missing URL states plugin.
Mojo, it says unable to load the Mojo. Can you go up Abhishek? Just a second. Huh? It says unable to load Mojo var. Might be Mojo var is missing. Can you search for that? There only. Unable to load Mojo.
No, can go the cast by the failure is I think above the yeah wait, yeah cast by Java exception solution cannot access
Access default fields.
default field of properties.
I mean, anything which read only kind of thing, folder or something made on read only.
No, not read only. Yesterday I tried with Java 12. It was working. I don't know. Today I did with Java 17. Maybe it's not stable or something. Let's check out for one time with Java 12 also.
Java 17 is I think
Pardon?
Java 17 it's some compatible issue I think.
Okay. Let's see with Java 12 only. It was working with Java 12. I tested that earlier.
Sound
Maybe because it's maybe.
again to restart, is it?
No, no.
Yeah, this should be fine. Sure, Abhishek, we need not restart again.
But I didn't restart yesterday. It worked.
User variable, I think it will take it without restart, but I mean, system variables, we need to restart. Long term, I don't remember.
Reflect.
Let me.
So we have to download Java 12 or 17.
The issue is was with Java 17 only. Okay, it might not be able to run some files from the Java 17. So just we tried with Java 12 was a stable version. So it worked with Java 12. We were able to build that. Okay. Now, if you go back to our project, you will find a var file over there in the, if you go to Azure DevOps Java project application, inside the target, see there is a var file. Okay. Now what you can do, now this var file, as we have seen that this file
Settings.
you can go install the Tomcat and you can deploy that. Now just we'll see first manually how you can do that. So installing the Tomcat, oh, Maven, Apache Tomcat. Let's go to Apache Tomcat and install that. Install Tomcat. Tomcat.apache.org, not want this one. So let's have Tomcat 10. So either you can download zip file and set up your Tomcat, either you can do with the installer. Okay, let's download that installer file. Now if you go and look up the build again, this run is exactly same what we were doing like in Azure DevOps, right? While executing the pipeline. There also we have seen some run, right? So that was also like downloading the code, downloading the dependencies, all those kinds of whatever you are seeing here. It's exactly type of that run only that we were doing with .NET framework. Here we are doing it Java. Okay, so it is very necessary to have a stable version of Java to successfully build your Java code. Okay, and to get that Maven. If it is downloaded, yes. Go to the executable, double click it. Yes. Next, now you have to set everything here like start host manager. Okay. Next, now as of now you can see the port set is 8080. You can set any port starting 1001 till 65,536. Okay. So starting 1000 port, it is for user use. Before 1000, it is all system use. So you can use any port. So there you have taken 8080. You can take 9090 also. Okay. Then Tomcat 10. You have to give username. You have to give some username here. Okay.
The admin.
Yeah, you can give any username. You can give admin also, whatever you like. You can give the username over there, username and password. So let's give
Test password test123 should be fine.
now roles, manager role and admin role. It is important to give manager GUI and admin UI whenever you are deploying. Otherwise, if you don't give these roles, you will not be able to deploy your application. Okay, so there are two roles. Manager GUI. Since we are installing this Tomcat over GUI, so it is easy to install this using a UI. But if you install this in the, you can say, in the Linux server, then you have to see some files over there. Okay. So there will be some files, configuration files in the Tomcat. There you have to go and set up all these things. Manager GUI and admin GUI. Now where we are installing inside the program files. If you want, you can change that. Okay. Run Apache Tomcat, show readme files. Finish. Now this will start your Tomcat. This is the service. Now where you will find the service in Windows? So in the services, search for the services. There you will find the all the services. Now here you can see that Apache Tomcat. Startup type manual. You can see that. Okay. Startup type manual. As of now, service is not running. What you can do, you can start the Tomcat service. So as of now, if you go and look for Tomcat page, it will not be reachable now since your service is not running. What you have to do? You have to start the Tomcat service. It is not starting the service.
Is on top, start the service.
Service type automatic. Startup type.
Not starting that.
Refresh.
Usually we restart, right, Abhishek?
Huh?
Once we are installing all these things, we used to restart. I mean, long back, I'm telling. I'm not sure whether if at all we restart, it will automatically
Start the service.
start the service.
Okay.
Reflected.
It is saying that it cannot start the service in the local. Wait, let me check this one in documentation.
Can we use the below version Tomcat?
Pardon?
Can we use the below version to install the Tomcat? I
Okay,
mean, the
9.0. It's 9.0. Uh, Work folder is also empty. There is no Catalina, otherwise we should have it. Startup. See.
Yes.
Okay, I just go manually to the bin folder, and from there I just run that startup.bat file. Okay. So maybe it was this service was not triggering .bat file to startup. So we did it manually. Now here what you can do, you have to go inside the manager app. Okay. You have to log in. And then in the password section,
Student 123, did you get that?
now here you have to
Deploy.
deploy yet. So what we doing as of now, it was just a traditional way of deploying the application. Okay, earlier they used to deploy it manually.
Right.
Okay, so they give the context path, the version, XML, var file or directory path, and they deploy or directly choose the
Directly choose
file
the
to deploy.
work.
Yeah. Okay. So go to D, Java project, application,
Yes.
target. open that. So I think you have to restart that again. From here, bin file. Okay, can you see this application? Hmm.
Abhishek, or 8080/riders application. Try, I mean, in the URL page, just paste that.
Application is not started, so maybe. No, see, page not found.
Okay.
So you have to start the application first. So I was trying to start, could not start application at the context path. List applications, okay. Undeploy.
You stop this once here. I mean, just above. Here, start stop is there. Stop it once. Huh?
No, but this will stop the Tomcat, no?
Again, we'll restart Tomcat. No, just now.
But I have undeployed that application now.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. As of not, will not give.
Start.
What is that actually?
It did not start application, Abhishek. Down below. Riders application.
I started, but it is not able to start, like it is failing. Okay, something is failing.
Application and context path.
Ah,
We have to give the context path, right?
context path. So like
War file
two
directory.
options. You can give the context path also, either you can deploy directly also.
We try the first one.
Yeah.
Actually, you started directly, no, Abhishek. Maybe that context part it is not taking in a
Okay.
proper way.
Wait. Uh, let me undeploy first.
Yeah.
Stop it. Okay.
Yes.
Using
Like
the
this.
file,
Deploy.
deploy it.
Now run both start.
So
Don't start that, Abhishek. Start this one. Yes.
no.
Same thing.
Some context path issues there. Let's try here.
Yes, have to give the context path there.
/riders application,
Yes, that's what.
or just rider. Keep it riders on bus. XML configuration. That we need to see in that .xml file, right?
Right.
Settings.xml.
Var file directory path.
Settings.xml.
Yes, wait. the directory path.
XML configuration file path.
XML configuration file. It is asking for that this file.
Just try changing that riders application, Abhishek, because it's saying application already exists. Just keep it as riders only.
Yesterday only it was working. Maybe making some mistake in the path and all. In the local it is the issue, but when we use the Linux server and all, it works fine mostly.
Running should be true, right? Then only it will start.
Wait. Okay, started application at context path.
I think that is not
Maybe I
pick up
think
the
here we have
context.
in the program files, we need to go to shift the application in the program file 86 because we have the Java path over there. Maybe that may be a issue. I am not sure. But we'll test this today. Let's have another class for that. So there's nothing. This is completed. A simple deployment of the application or using a Tomcat. We need to do this through Jenkins. So we'll be deploying Jenkins and doing all these things through Jenkins. And then we'll see Docker and Kubernetes. I think 2, 3 class will finish. Okay. I'll figure this out today. Okay.
Anyways, this is the traditional way of doing, right, Abhishek?
This is the traditional way, what I told you.
So once that is done,
Tomorrow on the or in the next class, we'll be doing it with CI/CD.
yeah,
Okay.
we can directly go to that. I mean, this anyway, it's not so useful, right?
Not useful, but it is just for an understanding.
Just after you click that in the URL, if, it is showing like it is not found, right? Usually we get that website homepage,
Right,
right?
right.
Abhishek, one more idea I have. Can you paste that directly in that www root folder? Copy paste this file so that we can directly run it.
Okay, in the Tomcat.
Tomcat on this folder. Maybe some path or some settings are missing.
Inside web apps,
That particular
root.
folder w root, what was that? ww root. Inside the
That's what
folder, we can paste this.
XML.
Sharing, yeah.
Pardon?
It did not share your screen.
Else you can upload the recording also, right?
Yeah, I'll do one thing. Whatever, if I find that, I'll record some 5-10 minutes. I'll upload with that recording, today's recording. Okay, that will be fine. Next class we can start with CI/CD Jenkins and all. Hello.